Hey everybody. Today it is May 28th, 2025. We're just on the backside of Memorial Day weekend. I hope everybody who sees this video had a great Memorial Day with friends and family and got to take a little bit of a long weekend and enjoy yourselves. Um, I wanted to, this video should be fairly short, I think. But I did want to come on today and let people know what's going on with my most recent comic book project. So if you've been following me on any of my social media, either Facebook, Instagram, X, or here on YouTube, um, you'll know that I have been working to get the second issue of my self-published comic book M Squad funded so that we could get the project and the whole comic colored and lettered and printed and into the hands of the fans. And so we had that campaign on Indiegogo for the past 60 days, and today is the last day. And at this point, we are far short of where our goal was set to, and so we are not going to meet the needs of what we have to make the comic at this time. So it's a little sad. This is probably, for me, this is probably the first real major setback that I've had in terms of comes to comics, making comics, being involved in them, etc. I when I started doing conventions and commissions and things like that, um, I was able to sort of meet the goals that I had set for myself. And with the first issue of our comic book, M Squad, I met the goal and was able to get the comic out to everybody in a timely manner and meet those goals. So very successful. And this time we just weren't able to do it. And I've had to spend a lot of time sitting and thinking about through the past 60 days what is it? Where did we fall short? So, is it a question of is it the property? Are people not into M Squad? Are people not excited about reading about a superhero team? Possibly, superhero fatigue is a real thing. Not everybody is as passionate about superhero comic books as I am. It could be that maybe the folks who backed M Squad, the first M Squad issue, I thought I had a lot of real positive feedback and thought it was well received. Maybe it wasn't as well received as I thought it was. And then, of course, then I start to look at external factors like the economy and what people are going through right now, and is anywhere from $5 to $15 to $20 or more. Is that an excessive cost for something right now that you're purchasing? It's just a pure pure entertainment, possibly. So that's where we're at. So I've had to sit down and think about what are the next steps. So first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who did back M Squad on Indiegogo. We did have a few backers, and those folks, you will not be charged for that. So don't worry about that. Whatever you committed to, that money is still yours. You have not paid a dime, but I thank you for your commitment and your belief in what this project and the book is. I also had a lot of help in terms of people sharing and talking about it. I did have folks try to help me market on social media. So to all of you who did that, who shared out the link or shared out my videos, thank you again to all of you as well. I greatly appreciate all of your help, and I couldn't do it without any of you. So thank you so much. So like I said, so what's next? So for me, one of the things I'm going to do is go back to the drawing board and decide, and think about, was part of the issue maybe, was it the crowdfunding campaign? So it's something I did all on my own. I didn't have there are professionals that do that and can help people with that. I did not engage any of them. I tried to do it all myself. So maybe that wasn't as engaging as I had hoped it would be. Also, I know that the first one that we did for M Squad #1 was a lower goal. It was, possibly more achievable. And then the other part was possibly it was on Kickstarter. So maybe being on Kickstarter versus being on Indiegogo, maybe that had something to do with it as well, right? Maybe folks weren't interested in committing to Indiegogo. My thought was, I really just wanted to try it as an alternative to compare, so I knew what Kickstarter was like compared to Indiegogo. So one of the things I may do is go back to the drawing board and re-evaluate what it's like in terms of being on Kickstarter versus Indiegogo, and maybe we'll try again on Kickstarter in a little while. So maybe I'll start to engage some of those professionals that do crowdfunding and see what they can do to help me in terms of the marketing to reach more people, maybe via Kickstarter. The other thing we might do is I might work on producing the book further. So with M Squad #1, I paid out of my own pocket all the money to have the book colored and lettered and ready to go to press. And then all I did was take orders to then print it and get it to people. So maybe that's an option. I'm looking at, I have a ton of art that I'm working on right now that is available for sale. And so if I could raise money by selling art and take those funds and put it into paying up front to get the comic book colored and lettered. So that way, when I am looking for people to take orders and commit to buying the book, it's all done. We're not raising money to make the book. The book's made. That might be a little more palatable to folks. If they want to back it, they'll feel more secure, like it's going to be done. So that's an option. I really like the story. I really like the characters. I think there's a lot there, like most stories. It's not I didn't expect it to be an instant hit with issue 1. There's a through line, a through story that goes, through these individual issues, going into a bigger story. One of the things I may just do is just keep continuing. I can draw all the pages and have them done. And who knows, maybe it gets printed as a huge 100-page graphic novel instead of individual comic book issues. Maybe again, that would be more palatable, more marketable. So I think I'll still do M Squad. I think it will still be something that is part of my life and what I'm going to continue to do and work to bring to everybody. Because I think, like I said, I think it is a good story. I think people will like it. I also have other comic book properties and comic book ideas that I'd love to work on. And maybe it's time to take a step from the superheroes and try something else. I have a couple of different ideas that aren't superhero based that I think could be really, really fun. I have one that involves it's sort of a mix of, it has steampunk elements. It has classic mythological horror monster kind of stuff to it. And so I think that could be a lot of fun. I have a pure fantasy story. You're talking about like dragons and barbarians and, stuff like that. I have a story like that in mind that I've been thinking about as well. So, those might be options. And maybe that's where the market is. Maybe people are more interested in a book like that than your traditional superheroes, where there are so many options. So that might be something as well. But I'm going to continue to work. I do also have a project. I've talked about it a little bit called The Just, that I've worked with my creative partner, Terry Sala, for several years. So with The Just, I have a couple of issues. It's a mini series. I have a couple of issues are already drawn. We put out an ash can earlier this year, and the interest on the ash can, we sold a bunch of those to folks. So that's a preview story as we're getting ready for issue 1. In fact, there are pages of issue 1 that are being colored right now because we took the revenue from the ash can that y'all bought and put that into getting those pages colored. So we will be able to bring you the Just, which it is a superhero story, but it is definitely different than any other superhero story you've ever seen. And that will be available later this year for issue 1. So we're going to keep going on that, and so there are things coming. So this is not it's a setback. It's disappointing, but it's far from the end of VTX Comics and what I plan on doing. So we'll be out there. We'll continue to work. We'll be able to continue to communicate with everybody and let you know where we're going. But again, I did just want to give you an update, an honest situation on what's happening with M Squad. And we didn't make it this time, but there will be M Squad in the future. So keep your eyes open for that. And, as well, I think we're going to do a couple of things. I'm trying to find the right avenue to do online sales. I'm not at a point where I could create a website to tell everybody, hey, if you want to buy something here, come to the website. So I'm still using other methods. But between Facebook and Instagram, and I think Whatnot might be a way to go as well. If you're not familiar with Whatnot, Whatnot is an online auctioning site, which is a lot of fun. And you can go in. It has a live video component like this, but you can take an object, an item. Like I'll give you a little preview here. I am working on this Superman comic. So this is a Superman comic that I've been doing. So it's a blank comic, and the whole idea is the entire comic is blank. There's no story. There's no nothing. The idea is you would normally draw a full comic book in here, to scale. Instead, what I've done is I've taken this and turned it into sort of a sketchbook, if you will, or a just an imagery of a bunch of different superhero or Superman characters. So, Lex Luthor and Supergirl and 90s Superboy, Lois Lane. We've got Crypto and Bizarro, and the last one that I've done so far is Doomsday, and we've got a few more pages to go. So when this is all done, this is the kind of thing that would be for sale on Whatnot, and we would start at a price, and folks could bid on it, auction style, to see who gets, who wants to buy that. And those are the funds that could go into, making M Squad and making issues of copies of M Squad #2 or other projects. So I think Whatnot might be a way to go. So I'll put out notifications throughout, like I mentioned, all of my social media platforms to talk about Whatnot and let you know when I decide to get on there, or when that kind of a broadcast might happen if you want to tune in there. But it'll be a lot of original art for sale, and trust me, I have a lot of original art that's available. I like selling it. I like getting it out there into the hands of people who love it. So that's another avenue that'll be coming up soon as well. So keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, we're heading into the summer. We'll get a lot of work done. I will continue to broadcast. I'm continuing to try to upgrade my my video presence, especially on YouTube. I have a weekly a series that I do with looking at Spider-Man and the original Spider-Man comic books. So check that out if you like Spider-Man, or if you're a comic book fan, or if you want to learn about art, because it really does focus on the art of those comics. I also have another series I want to do with my wife. My wife Heather. She and I have a plan on doing a show that talks about pop culture and what's going on and that kind of stuff right now. And so we're excited about kicking that off this summer as well. So check it out. Check out YouTube. Check out Facebook. Let me know if things are coming across. My friend Matt here is giving me tons of feedback and giving me options. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure who Brenda Brown and David Green are, but I guess some folks that some folks from another show, Sauce in the City, and maybe we'll connect with them. I'm gonna have in June. I have plans on having a guest on to my YouTube channel for a live interview. It's a gentleman who does a blog that has to do with Spider-Man, Marvel Comics, stuff like that. And he's commented a lot on my Spider-Man videos. And so I'm looking forward to having him on and talking kind of about where his blog comes from and the history of Spider-Man and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up. And so keep looking out for that. But like I said, thank you all so much for the support and for the help. And I wanted to just kind of touch base and let you know where we stand. So what I'm going to do is, I said, this was going to be a quick one. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to play you the video one last time for M Squad, and let you see what's going on. And who knows? But next time you see anything about M Squad, maybe we'll have more color work done. Maybe we'll have some more pages lettered, stuff like that. And it'll be back around. So there we go. We're going to wrap it up and end with that. So thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will be back with you again soon.